Ahoy there, good day to you people of the interwebs. Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Game of fucking Thrones, mates. That's what I'm looking forward to. Next week starts again, season 7. So I thought I'd do a bit of a video about one of the things I have to do with Game of Thrones, which is this. It's George R.R. Martin's The World of Ice and Fire. It's written by George R.R. Martin with collaboration with Game of Thrones super fans, super nerds, Elio Garcia and Linda Antonoson. I've probably pronounced those completely wrong, but yeah, it's a book. That's what we're talking about. Completely different from what we used to on this channel, eh? Words and shit. It's not just words and shit. It's a very pretty book. Now this is primarily, it's more to do with the book series A Song of Ice and Fire than it is Game of Thrones, the TV show. But even though they are one and the same, they are quite different in many ways. And so this goes into depth about the history and the events leading up to the world of Game of Thrones, the history of Westeros, and some of the rest of the known world in Worlderos, or whatever it's called. But yeah, it's just this fascinating book with just some gorgeous, I don't know how well you can make this out. It's just, so if we get all this text, but then we have these gorgeous, just absolutely lovely pictures. So mainly, there's quite a lot of going into the history, first of all, of the First Men, and then into the Targaryens and the reigns of the various kings there. But then he does go into some of the other families, You get maps of like the Vale and, the North and just the Iron Islands. It goes into all these, the Greyjoys and, the Baratheons. Just everyone gets a bit of time in this book. And what it is, it's not just like a dry text either. It's written from the perspective of a character. So they have these maesters in, in the Song of Ice and Fire, in Game of Thrones, who are the learned types. Each castle has one, and they're supposed to be impartial to the world. But even though they are impartial, they have their own particular slants on, what they believe to have happened in the world and what they see as mythological and what they see as fact. And so, this is written by a particular Meister. He was intending it to be a gift for Joffrey Baratheon. That's the thing. It sets this book in time, in a place, but he didn't finish it in time. So then it's a book for Tommen instead. Spoilers, Joffrey dies. Thank fuck. So yeah, it's written by someone from that world, and so he is biased. It is a bias, and it's got a bias towards the Baratheons. It's got a bias, towards the ancestors of that in this book, because that's who the book is aimed for. And I really like that. I really like how, history is written by the victors, and that is the edge they've taken with this. It's not just this is some facts and things about the world that is being created by George R.R. Martin for his books, for this TV series, but it's got that slant on it that makes it just that little bit more interesting. Not that, this is a weighty book, this is a heavy book. In the world of Game of Thrones, you'd need a book like this because, anyone could die at any time and you could probably take a fool out with this. So as well as all that, you've got the stuff that's just the weird stuff in the East that we never really hear about. And it's got all, lineages and family trees. It's just so weighty, so much depth. Go here, kids. People riding zebras, man. How many books have you got with pictures of people riding zebras? Not many, I should imagine. So you should get this. I mean, really, And for someone who is into the books, the game, the Song of Ice and Fire book series, this is pretty much essential. It is essential. If you're just watching the show, it's a nice beginner, a nice start into the world of A Song of Ice and Fire. Things that are not in the show. I mean, the book world is a lot more colourful. There's a lot more heraldry. There's a lot, the costumes and the hair and even their eye colours are a lot more varied and there's people, with beards that they dye gold and stuff, and big elaborate mustaches. It's quite this. Yeah, it's a very descriptive world. And they like their food. There's lots of descriptions of food within the book series, so it is a lot. While the core plots are the same, there's a very expansive kind of. It's slightly dialed down for television to make it more accessible. It's not as outlandish. Some of the costumes that people wear in the books are a lot more outlandish. I'll see if we can find any kind of examples. Of course, we won't right now, but because this is still very, realistic. It's just these grand visages that you just can't quite capture on. They're getting there with a budget, but you can't quite capture some of these on television. But they're just, look, and that's the iron. That's how big the Iron Throne should be. It's just this massive of everyone's swords melting together. It's not just however many swords they claim it is on the show. It actually is that many swords. So yeah, highly recommended. Highly recommended. Is this book? This book is recommended. Pick it up. The one from the US has quite a plushy front to the cover, whereas this is just like a hard book with a dust cover on the UK release. But yeah, it's fascinating. Absolutely great read. 326 pages. Look at all these badges, shields, heraldry. Excellent. So, are you looking forward to Game of Thrones returning next week? Have you bought books like this? Do you read the books? Who are your favourite characters? Let me know in the comments below. Till then, remember to like, comment, subscribe, or unlike, desubscribe, if that's a word. Follow me on Twitter, because I post on there very often. Instagram I'm on as well. Yeah. Please, acknowledge me. Wow. I soared to that levels of desperation. We're doing that thing now with a video. Join me next time when we could just be talking about something completely random. I might talk about a Game of Thrones episode if you'd like that. Till then, be excellent to each other, party on dudes, and because you deserve it, bestow!